What's going on, guys? Welcome to Geek Out Media. My name is Bill Bixby.
Now, we're just days and weeks away at this point from Marvel Studios kicking off their full marketing campaign for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and because of that, there's almost a 0% chance we're going to get a second trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy, or even the first trailer for the Marvels, unless they attach them to the Super Bowl, which airs about 5 days before Quantumania's release, but we'll have more updates on that surely as we get closer to the big game. In the meantime, and quietly over the last week, Marvel Studios actually released the official synopsis for the Marvels via one of Disney's many press websites, and while it doesn't reveal everything, actually has brand new details about the film, the villain, and what's going on with the plot. We're going to read through it and break it down in full. I'm also going to add some details from the unreleased footage we saw at D23, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews, to the occasional industry insider report, and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. Okay, so again, this is the first official synopsis released for the Marvels to coincide with the press they've already done for the film. This is what it says, quote, Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, has reclaimed her identity from the tyrannical Kree and taken revenge on the Supreme Intelligence. But unintended consequences see Carol shouldering the burden of a destabilized universe when her duties send her to an anomalous wormhole linked to a Kree revolutionary. Her powers become entangled with that of Jersey City superfan Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel, and Carol's estranged niece captain Monica Rambeau. Together, this unlikely trio must team up and learn to work in concert to save the universe as the Marvels. Now, there's actually a ton to unpack here, but let's start at the beginning. They may have changed the name from Captain Marvel 2, as it was originally called, to the Marvels, in an attempt to also focus on Miss Marvel and Monica Rambeau. Quick side note, who I assume will be calling herself Photon by the end of this film, but in any case, use this film to explore character development for both of them. But according to this synopsis, this still very much sounds like the Captain Marvel 2, the Carol Danvers story, and it looks like they're going to be filling in a lot of the blanks for what she's been up to off-planet, not just in the recent Marvel times since the snap and the blip, but going back to when she defeated the Supreme Intelligence all the way back decades ago in the MCU timeline and really established the figure that she's become out in the universe. And remember, in this clip right here from the film, she's telling Fury that she's a warrior hero. That's how they were brainwashed to see themselves, even though they were being manipulated, and there's a good chance, based on what she revealed during Avengers Endgame, that's exactly what she's been up to, being a champion for those who need it across the universe. Now, the Kree Revolutionary they're referencing here near the anomalous wormhole, remember, wormhole is what they used to describe what opened up over New York, so based on the Marvel Cinematic Universe definition of what a wormhole is, just along one universe's timeline, not a wormhole from one part of the multiverse to another. That was unique to America Chavez being able to travel the multiverse. It's not implied that any of the other characters are able to do that. So while this is in the middle of the multiverse saga, I'm assuming will only pertain to the 616's universe. It might even be an extension of some of the plot points we see in Secret Invasion and the Skrulls, but more on that in just a second. Now, that Kree Revolutionary they're referring to near the wormhole is actually going to be the villain of the film, played by Zawe Ashton. Now, earlier this year, according to Murphy's Multiverse and re-reported by GameRant, quote, Ashton's Captain Marvel 2 villain will loosely be based on the Kree comic character A.L. Dan. In the comics, General A.L. Dan devises a scheme with General Dar-Ben and other Kree soldiers to assassinate the Emperor and place the blame on the Skrulls. Following their successful attempt to kill and dethrone the Emperor, A.L. Dan and Dar-Ben jointly rule the Kree Empire in his place until they themselves are murdered by Deathbird and their minds are absorbed into the Supreme Intelligence. Now, Murphy's Multiverse went on to report, quote, I've heard the character described as both the Kree Emperor and a Kree General. In the comics, both are true, and I can't confirm if Ashton's character will be playing one or the other or both in the film. But basically, the big takeaway is now that she's acknowledged in this official synopsis, it's good old circular storytelling where we're going to find Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, in basically the same place she was at in the first film, at odds with the Kree leadership, although we'll get to see her character development and how she chooses to handle it. Now, the last detail mentioned in the synopsis is the three of them, Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and Monica Rambeau, having to, quote, work in concert with one another. That was revealed during the D23 footage, as it is confirmed that all three of their powers are now linked, and whenever any one of them use their powers, all three of them shift places to where the other one was. Now, if you haven't seen it already, you want to recap, honestly, I could probably use one as well, as it's months old at this point. I already broke down the footage from D23 that they showed to us live in person on the channel. I'll make sure to link it at the end of this, or maybe include a link down in the description and comments so you can check back over it. But basically, the scenes reveal that yes, all of their powers are intertwined, but not much more than that. It did reveal, though, one scene where they're all dancing in a planet, and it's been rumored that she's married to a prince on a planet where all they do is musicals, so the entire part of that film will be in musical form, which I can't wait to see. That sounds absurd. It does, however, reveal that there's a subplot, not only them against the villain, but developing why now their powers are entwined. I think this may have something to do with the multiverse. And so when I mentioned earlier about wormholes only being within one universe, could it be that this wormhole and Zawe Ashton's character, the Kree ruler that she is, the revolutionary, is actually showing up from a different part of the multiverse now that the multiverse is broken, which would indeed tie this into the multiverse saga in a unique way, but sounds more like something out of a Star Trek movie, which in fact Kevin Feige is admittedly a huge fan of. We're gonna have to wait and see. But guys, let me know all your thoughts down below, how hyped you are for this film. I'm actually super hyped for it. I thought Miss Marvel was awesome. I can't wait to see the three of them together.
And we appreciate you sticking around until the end.